All right, I am happy to be joined by my next guest, Bobby Nash, who will be fighting on May the 28th at XFC 44 as a part of the welterweight tournament semifinals when he meets Ryan Dickson. Bobby, how's it going?
I'm good, Ryan. Thank you for having me on today.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and it's good to talk to you again. As I was saying before we went live, it's been quite a few years since we have spoken last.
Yeah.
Things are going well for you. You picked up a huge win here at XFC 43, round one against Spencer Jebb. How important was that for you to go in there and make a statement in your XFC?
It was really important, man. I mean, Spencer Jebb was an extremely tough opponent. Very strong. Had fights in Russia for I remember what the promotion was called, but it was a top tier promotion. So going out there and getting the first round KO, like, really built my confidence, made me really believe in my hands, and it was important to me to get that win. Getting that win was huge, man. And now the goal is to beat Ryan Dickson and win this welterweight tournament.
Obviously, you're a veteran. You've been in the sport for a really long time. But when you go in there against a tough guy and finish him inside of one round, what does that do for your confidence at this stage of your career?
It's huge. It just, like you were saying, I am a veteran. I fought on big platforms, but it just goes to show that I am still developing as a fighter, and that's very exciting for me. I think XFC has me in their. I'm in my prime right now, and I get to fight for a promotion in my absolute prime. So these next 3-4 fights, I'm really excited to see what actual potential I have. Because, I would say 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I was a very tough, talented fighter. But right now, between now and the next 3 or 4 fights, you're going to see the absolute best Bobby Nash. And that's what excites me. I know that I'm still getting better.
You're still 31 years old, right?
I am 31 years old. That is correct.
Yeah, man. So, like, you're coming right smack into the middle of your athletic prime right now.
Exactly.
A lot of fighters, the goal has been to get to the UFC. You've already been there, and now here you are with another wonderful organization. The XFC is doing some fantastic things. One of the things I don't get on Facebook that much, but I noticed you made a comment, and I don't even remember what it was. I think it was Dana White posted something about them basically opening up the company for people to buy stock. And the XFC was the first promotion to spearhead that. Can you just kind of speak on that? How cool that is for the XFC to be doing that?
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the latest news, UFC is now a publicly traded company. Well, the first ever publicly traded company was XFC right here, and that's something I'm really proud of. I think it's super cool, And what XFC actually does is it gives shares of the company when you fight. So if you fight from, or if you get a knockout bonus, for instance, my last fight, knockout bonus, I got 20 shares of the company. So I mean, if XFC continues to grow, which it will, and the stock continues to, it'll be a good chunk of change for me. So I think it's really cool what they're doing. And yes, XFC was the first.
Yeah. What is your current contractual situation with the promotion?
So right now I'm doing this tournament, and after this tournament, I have to win the tournament, and it's a 4-fight deal. If I make it if I win the tournament, I have a 4-fight deal with them. If I make it to the finals but lose, it's a 2-fight deal. So that's what I have. And yeah, so I don't know if there might be some room for negotiating and all. Right now, the goal is to win the tournament, and then hopefully we'll see where things go from there.
Yeah. And as far as, comparing the XFC to, these other big promotions, Bellator, ONE, PFL, there's a lot of great promotions now that are rivaling the UFC. Where do you feel the XFC's trajectory is? Do you feel like it could be right there at the tippy top here in a year or two?
Well, every time I'm going on their social media page, every time I'm talking to anyone from XFC, I can see the big picture. They're excited. They want to be the best. Their guys, high-level guys. They're starting the young guns, which is kind of like maybe I guess you could resemble to Dana White's Contender Series. You know what they're doing is really cool, and I they will be a top tier promotion. They are, I believe, they're already a top tier promotion. But I think in the next upcoming years, you're going to see some really, really cool things at XFC. And we got Andrew who's on the roster now. A couple other UFC vets, and they have a guy named Austin Bashi. I don't know if people who know that is, but he's a young gun. That's a superstar in the making right now. And dude, I just love what they're doing, man, and I'm really happy to be a part of them.
Yeah, I've spoken to the owner, Myron Malaki, on a few occasions. I've interviewed him twice now. Super great guy, and he just seems like he's genuine, which must be really nice for you as a fighter to be working for a guy like that.
Definitely, yeah, and I got good relationships with Myron, and like I said, I just see the goals they have, and I'm just happy to be a part of that. You know, I want to be a part of that. I want to grow the company and grow my brand as well. So it's really cool. I'm having a fun time with it.
Now, you mentioned before that you're the best you've ever been right now, this second. When you look back at when you were in the UFC, you had that 3-fight losing streak before, you weren't with the promotion anymore. How much better are you now versus then? And like, how have you grown specifically as a mixed martial artist?
Well, when I was in the UFC, I was still extremely talented. I was tough. Can't take anything away from the guys who. But there's absolutely no question. And anyone can see my fights then and can see my fights now. And it's clear as day that I am a completely different athlete. When I went into the UFC, I was professional for 2.5 years. So I was pro for just over 2 years and then went to the UFC. That's unheard of, to go to the UFC. I was out of college, went pro, boom, in the UFC. And my career went fast. And I was a little underdeveloped. I went in at 26 and a half, 27 years old. I was a little underdeveloped, a lot of learning to do. And taking those 3 losses definitely humbled me, but it made me realize, okay, well, this is what I need to work on. And man, it just changed my mind completely. It changed my mind to what I want to do in the sport. This everything. Mentally, physically, I am a better athlete. And I just, the losses in the UFC, yeah, they sting, but they were a blessing, without a doubt, a blessing.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. And you're still a young guy. So it's really going to be interesting to see what happens here moving forward. I do want to ask you, too, now that life seems to be getting back to relative normality, what was the COVID-19 pandemic like for you? How did it affect you, good or bad?
It was interesting, man. I live in Michigan, so everything shut down. Most around the country it was, but I know Michigan was pretty serious. For everything shut down for about a month and a half, 2 months. So I wasn't in the gym. So what I did is I hung a heavy bag in my backyard and I made it like a little makeshift gym. I was hitting the bag every day. I was running. So I think I adapted really well. It was tough to train, but I adapted well and I made it work. So and I think that was the important thing is the fighters, how they adapted to the situation. I didn't want to fall behind. That was not. I was like, man, it's gonna be. Who knows how long this is gonna be? I don't want to fall behind. So made a heavy bag in the backyard. And started working out in my backyard.
Yeah, that I'm sure you got a lot of good workouts in just from that there. What other hobbies do you have now outside of MMA? Is there anything else that you really like to do in your downtime?
Oh yeah, man. I love hiking, love camping, being outdoors, fishing. Every year I go to the St. Clair River. I go walleye fishing, or the Detroit River walleye fishing. I love doing. Last summer I went to Beartooth Mountain in Montana. I went on a 5-day hike and backpack. That was really cool. So those are some of the hobbies I like. Just being outdoors, man, and that's just cool to me. And I really want to get into like a little more hunting and stuff, but it's kind of what I'm into.
You got any trips planned after this fight?
So I don't, but I do plan on something soon. So my original plan is I want to win this tournament, then I want to take my wife and kids out somewhere real cool. So I don't know where yet, but I want to take it kind of outdoorsy, something like that.
You should come up to Maine. That's where I'm at. In the fall time, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's the East Coast, man, right? East Coast, yeah. So I would love to go out there. I don't think people talk about the East Coast enough, dude. I think it's so cool out there. It's really nice. That would not be able get some lobster, eat some seafood, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and in the foliage too in the fall, I mean, it's just gorgeous. I mean, people come up here for like leaf peeping right around, September, October. You can't beat it. It's a great time, and I'm sure you might be able to get some hunting in while you're up here. So you could scratch, two itches there with one trip.
There you go, man. It's something to think about, man. I've actually wanted to visit the East Coast. Always been to the West Coast, California, and all that, but man, East Coast is beautiful.
All right. Well, let's talk about this matchup here. Ryan Dickson, he's 11-5. He's coming off a round 1 RNC win over Mike Hill. How do you like this matchup?
It's a very exciting matchup because Ryan Dickson is just so talented. Something that I'm pretty good at is wrestling and taking people down. But he's a problem. He's very talented on the ground. We're talking about a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So and his hands aren't great, but he's fundamentally sound. He beat Mike Hill. He hit a double jab right hand, took him down, and choked him out. It was only about a 35-second fight, so you couldn't see much. But in that 35 seconds, he looked good, man. So I'm excited for it because it's a fight where I'm like, okay, this is a tough competitor, and I need to come correct. So, dude, I think, but stylistically, I match up extremely well.
When you look at the rest of the competitors left in this tournament, is Ryan Dickson your most difficult test? Do you feel like you're going to get a stiffer test of whoever comes out of the other side of the bracket?
I think everyone in the division, has their problems, but to be completely honest with you, I think Ryan Dickson is the tougher one because he is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He is the veteran. He's been fighting for a while, although he's had a layoff, but he's been fighting for a while. He's 11-5. I think Ryan Dickson is, between me and him, we're two of the top guys in the division, in my opinion.
Gotcha. How do you see this fight ending?
I predict myself knocking out Ryan Dickson in round 1.
Okay, I like that. I know the bosses there for XFC will love to see another highlight reel first round finish. Who do you feel like you will face in the finals if you do go out here and get this win on May the 28th?
Oh man, so it's LaRue Burley, and the other guy is what is his name?
Carson
Hardman. Okay, Carson Hardman. So Carson Hardman's a really young guy. LaRue Burley is the veteran. But to tell you the truth, who I think I'm going to face, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm going to face that Carson Hardman. He's a young, athletic, heavy, hitting kid, man. And that's who I think I'm going to have in the finals.
Awesome. Well, hey, look, man, I can't wait to see this next XFC card. I really like what the promotion's doing, and you're one of the stars that are headlining the XFC as they continue to grow. Again, May the 28th, XFC 44, Bobby Nash will meet Ryan Dickson in the semifinals of the welterweight tournament. Before I let you go, man, tell people where they can follow you on social media, and if you have anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
For sure. You guys, you can follow me on my new Instagram page because my other one got hacked, unfortunately. It's B_Nashty170. And then on Twitter, it's B_Nashty. Just B_Nashty. Yeah, man. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. And I want to thank Valley Speedway out in Missouri. I want to thank Gittins Remodeling. I want to thank Detroit Scrapyard. And I want to thank you, Ryan, for having me on today.